How can you make millions with your Klaviyo account? I get this question all the time. Mark, how can I leverage my Klaviyo account to really make me money? And the truth of the matter is most brands using Klaviyo are using less than 5 to 10% of its capabilities, right? They might have a couple flows in there. They got an API or two connected. They're sending a couple campaigns here and there. And in today's episode, what I want to do is really talk about some of the capabilities of Klaviyo and how you can extract more value. If you're using Klaviyo as a brand, it's expensive. You know, it's not cheap to use this tool, and you're paying, sometimes thousands of dollars a month to have this full marketing CRM for your D2C brand. It's important that you learn how to use it so you're leveraging the full capabilities. We audit hundreds of Klaviyo accounts a year. And 9 out of 10 times, brand that's using Klaviyo that we're auditing just doesn't have anyone on the team that really understands it. It has someone that is primarily either in charge of design or a marketing manager that's trying their best, but they're by no means an expert. How do you leverage Klaviyo to the full T? Well, that really starts off by understanding what Klaviyo is in general, right? So Klaviyo has been around for, I would say, about 10 years now. They went public about 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. Klaviyo has become the industry standard for direct consumer e-commerce brands that are in the Shopify ecosystem. Obviously, you can still use Klaviyo if you're in WooCommerce or Magento or one of these other platforms, but primarily it is built for Shopify D2C. And the reason it plays so well with Shopify is it's built with a lot of the same theory as Shopify. They built a bulletproof product that integrates in seamlessly with Shopify and lets you leverage all the data points from customers, right? What did your customers buy? When did they sign up? When did they click on an email? When did they open an email? When did they visit the website? We have access to all these triggers within Klaviyo for every customer record. And based on those triggers, we can send emails, we can send SMS campaigns, we can even send push campaigns, right? We can send this data to other platforms for other things like direct mail and Postpilot. There's so much we can do with this data, but it needs to be leveraged properly. It really starts off by understanding the tools. Fundamentally, if you don't understand the tools and how to use them, then you're not going to get the full value out of the platform. And that starts off with automation. When we go in and we audit brands, it's shocking to see how few automation flows brands have and what's really firing. And it's either one of two routes. One, it's super simple. It's a couple flows, couple emails here and there, and it's just been set on autopilot. Or two, someone's gone in there and thought that they were Albert Einstein and overcomplicated the whole system. You don't want to go super simple, but you don't want to go too complicated, right? The tools here are made to be easy to manage and easy to understand the data. And the moment someone tries to over-engineer flows, you're going to lose. Things won't trigger properly, things will break, things can't get updated. You need to keep it simple and you need to have a framework. Fundamentally, there's a couple flows that we highly recommend. Obviously, welcome flow, post-purchase, new customer thank you. That's when someone buys for the first time. Repeat purchase, and then VIP flow, which is usually 3 or 4 purchases or someone that spent over a certain LTV. And then we get into browse abandonment, abandoned cart, and abandoned checkout, which are 3 triggers based off of where someone's at in their purchasing behavior. We also have abandoned site. So if someone's visited a certain page or abandoned the website, then we can send them another flow. And then we get into customer win back. If someone's win back, and we can send multiple win backs based off of someone hasn't bought in 60 days, 90 days, 120, so forth. Then we also have multiple VIP flows. So I mentioned a VIP onboarding flow. If someone spent 3 or more orders, we usually put in a flow there. Then we also have a sunset flow. And a sunset flow is going to help us clean and purge that list over time. So there's a couple of flows in there that I highly recommend. We can get even way more detailed based off of win back of certain products, win back of certain customers, a lot of things that can happen in there to get into the nitty gritty. But ultimately, those are the flows that we want to start off with. And if you have those flows, you're going to be above 95% of the brands, maybe even 98% of the brands on the platform in general. Flows are utmost number 1. Now we go into campaigns. Campaigns is super important. We find that most brands are not sending enough campaigns. You should be sending at least 2 to 3 campaigns a week. If you're doing multiple 6 figures, high 6 figures to 7 figures a month, you should be sending more than 2 to 3 campaigns a week. It's just a must. So on the email side, you should be sending those. And then next, you should also be sending SMS. A few years ago, Klaviyo finally got into the SMS game. And I can tell you, when they first launched, I wasn't too excited about it. It was, we were already using Attentive and PostScript and a few other platforms for SMS. I didn't see the need for it. Now, as the product's gotten better, I see the value in keeping everything in Klaviyo, or at least if you're getting into SMS, there's no need to try to go to another platform. Keep things simple, introduce SMS directly in Klaviyo. It's gonna stop some of the double attribution that we see if a brand's in Attentive or PostScript overall, and it's gonna just make it easier for you to execute. So layer in there. Also, cool thing is if, let's say you're using TapCart, which is another platform we're partners with where we can build mobile iOS and Android apps wrapped up as your Shopify site. We can actually build in push automation flows into Klaviyo as well. Earlier, I also mentioned PostScript. What we're doing now is we're building out robust segments in Klaviyo using customer data points and then pushing those into PostScript to send direct mail campaigns to past purchasers, which has been super successful. The next is going to be the list growth and the pop-up tools. Traditionally, we were always using other pop-up tools to build our pop-ups, and over the last year, we've really been migrating a lot of our clients that are in Klaviyo to using the Klaviyo pop-up. The Klaviyo pop-up, now we can build multi-step pop-ups with email and SMS collection. We can add in other data points. It's super clean, it's easy to test, it's easy to customize. We love the Klaviyo pop-up, and we're seeing great results across the board. On the SMS side, a couple of other list growth opportunities is text to join. We can set up text to join. We can also embed subscribe links for email and SMS into certain landers on the website, into footers, into blogs, things like that. There's a lot of opportunities to start collecting more email and SMS leads throughout the whole platform as a whole, and a lot of brands don't do that enough. Next is going to be the analytics capabilities, right? We have access to so much data in Klaviyo that using the dashboard to check out the performance is extremely important. When I'm looking at our clients' performance daily, weekly, monthly, the first thing I do is get into Klaviyo so I can understand where's attribution from Klaviyo in general. How much revenue have we generated over the past 30 days from Klaviyo? And what's the breakdown from automation flows, from email as a whole, and SMS from a whole? Those data points give me a great snapshot at what our benchmarks are and where we're trending towards our run rate overall for the channel and for the client specifically. And then lastly is deliverability. Klaviyo has made some massive strides to really dial in email deliverability for clients. It's really easy to build out subdomains and dedicated IPs, create all the settings that you need in your DNS to maximize your deliverability potential and protect your domain sending reputation. It's made a huge difference. I will tell you that even though it is easy, 9 out of 10 brands we work with have an issue with things aren't set up right, and it's usually just because people aren't familiar with how to do it, or they're not following the instructions properly. If that's something that you need help with, reach out to me and my team, and we'll do a free 15-minute audit to review your DNS and see if there's something we can do to help you guys out. We work on a one-off project, or if we're working on an ongoing engagement, we just handle those things for our clients overall. I really broke down quite a few points in there on how to maximize your Klaviyo account to make millions. And it's true. When you have all these things firing on all cylinders, you're going to see your Klaviyo revenue just skyrise through the moon. These things all work together, and as you maximize your Klaviyo account, you're going to see those numbers start to jump. That's really it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you maximize your Klaviyo potential, and I'll see you on the flip side. See ya. Bye.